My name's Arthur, and I thank you for joining me as we can continue to explore the discussion between Job and his three friends, occasioned by the disaster that's come upon Job's life. He had been greatly blessed by God, but God has taken all those blessings away, even his health and his family. His three friends have come to comfort Job, but when Job seeks an answer, they have a completely different answer to him as to what's going on. For them, God is simple and predictable. If Job did right, then he could expect to live a life without trouble. The fact that trouble has come to him proves that he is not righteous before God, that he's a hypocrite. But Job realizes that it is natural for all men to experience great trouble, and that the trouble that we experience is not necessarily the consequence of our own sin and failure. Yes, we do sin and fall short of the glory of God, but God deals with our sin when we live by faith and trust in God. We've been through the first of 3 rounds of debate with the 3 friends, and Eliphaz responds for the second time in chapter 15. Then Eliphaz the Temanite answered and said, "Should a wise man answer with empty knowledge, and fill himself with the east wind? Should he reason with unprofitable talk, or by speeches with which he can do no good? Yes, you cast off fear and restrain prayer before God, for your iniquity teaches your mouth, and you choose the tongue of the crafty. Your own mouth condemns you, and not I. Yes, your own lips testify against you. Are you the first man who was born? Or were you made before the hills? Have you heard the counsel of God? Do you limit wisdom to yourself? What do you know that we do not know? What do you understand that is not in us? Both the grey-haired and the aged are among us, much older than your father. Are the consolations of God too small for you, and the words spoken gently with you? Why does your heart carry you away? And what do your eyes wink at, that you turn your spirit against God, and let such words go out of your mouth? What is man that he could be pure? And who is born of a woman that he could be righteous? If God puts no trust in his saints, and the heavens are not pure in his sight, how much less man, who is abominable and filthy, who drinks iniquity like water? I will tell you, hear me. What I have seen I will declare. What wise men have told, not hiding anything received from their fathers, to whom alone the land was given, and no alien passed among them. The wicked man writhes with pain all his days, and the number of years is hidden from the oppressor. Dreadful sounds are in his ears. In prosperity the destroyer comes upon him. He does not believe that he will return from darkness, for a sword is waiting for him. He wanders about for bread, saying, "Where is it?" He knows that a day of darkness is ready at his hand. Trouble and anguish make him afraid. They overpower him like a king ready for battle, for he stretches out his hand against God and acts defiantly against the Almighty, running stubbornly against him with his strong embossed shield. Though he has covered his face with fatness, and made his waist heavy with fat, he dwells in desolate cities, in houses which no one inhabits, which are destined to become ruins. He will not be rich, nor will his wealth continue, nor will his possessions overspread the earth. He will not depart from darkness. The flame will dry out his branches, and by the breath of his mouth he will go away. Let him not trust in futile things, deceiving himself, for futility will be his reward. It will be accomplished before his time, and his branch will not be green. He will shake off his unripe grape like a vine, and cast off his blossom like an olive tree. For the company of hypocrites will be barren, and fire will consume the tents of bribery. They conceive trouble and bring forth futility. Their womb prepares deceit. May the Lord bless our understanding of Eliphaz's response. Eliphaz is shocked by what Job has been saying, for it doesn't represent traditional wisdom that has been received from the fathers. And he is very much a traditionalist. We have to follow the traditions of the past. The earth was empty after the flood, and he gave it to them, and they have taught us wisdom, and we must continue that wisdom. He's saying that Job's trust in God is futile. His words are empty. They're like the east wind. The east wind blows across the desert. The rain comes from the west. The east wind just brings hot air. And he accuses Job's discussion of being unprofitable, his speeches of doing no good. Job is opening himself to talk to his God. This is anathema to Eliphaz. Eliphaz feels he is speaking against God, being very crafty with his words. He accuses him of using twisted words, but his words will condemn him. But does Eliphaz have an answer? He doesn't refer to nature. He refers to the ancient authorities, to the old men who are with him. The grey-haired and the aged are among us. He's a traditionalist, and we have to stick with the traditions of the past, according to Eliphaz. That's the source of knowledge, the tradition of the past. Reflecting on Job's word, man who is born of woman is born to trouble. Eliphaz says, what is man that he could be pure? And he who is born of a woman, that he could be righteous. If God puts no trust in his saints, and the heavens are not pure in his sight, how much less man who is abominable and filthy, who drinks iniquity like water. Job is suggesting that God wants a relationship with us, wants to receive us, wants to be friends with us. But Eliphaz will write us all off. Man can't be pure. We can't be righteous before God. God will not rely upon us or trust us. We are just filthy. We are of no value to God. Well, God's purpose, as we revealed in the New Testament, is to bring many sons into glory. He wants to make us children of God. So the state that Eliphaz is describing is indeed our natural state, but it is not the final state for those who trust God. After the flood, the earth was empty, and the people went forth to fill the earth. God honoured our fathers, giving them the land and giving them wisdom. And to go against the fathers is to be a wicked man. And God brings wrath and destruction against the wicked. They will be assigned into darkness. The sword is waiting for them. So, Eliphaz says, trouble has come to Job, therefore Job has sinned. For when you sin, God will take away his blessing, which is what has happened to Job. In prosperity, the destroyer comes upon him. He does not believe that he will return from darkness, for a sword is waiting for him. He wanders looking for bread. He doesn't know that a day of darkness is ready at hand. Trouble and anguish make him afraid. Eliphaz is saying trouble comes as a consequence of sin. But Job has been saying they come upon all men, not just the wicked. Eliphaz is saying, though he has covered his face with fatness and made his waist heavy with fat, he dwells in desolate cities, in houses which no one inhabits. A person can be successful, but when they are proud against God, then that success is taken away. The fatness is taken away and judgment comes. His wealth will not continue, nor will his possessions overspread the earth. He will not depart from darkness. There is a sense of despair and judgment in Eliphaz's words. There's no hope in God. But Job is expressing hope in God, an anticipation that if Job waits long enough, God will receive him. Natural man is full of wickedness, and judgment comes upon him. But there is hope for those who trust in God, according to Job. There is no hope, according to Eliphaz.